afternoon, Jocelyn. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Jermaine and everyone.
Yeah, hey, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me on my virtual sofa and have a chat. Oh my goodness, looking as glorious as ever, sister. So let me introduce you to everyone who's listening to us. Miss Jocelyn Cheng is obviously the founder and the group CEO of JR Group. You all will know her for her fame for Chef in Box, right? And Sinwari. Those of you who are a little bit older who use their sauces, they're famous for that, right? So today, I'm very happy to have Jocelyn coming on board to speak to us because we are into our series called Pivoting. So pivoting is all about changing. And I want Jocelyn to tell us about her amazing transformation throughout her entire entrepreneurial life. So, sister, can you let us in a little bit on, on your very long history with your family business, but it's how you transform over the time that is amazing for your business. So why don't you let us know?
Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you for inviting me to your program. I think I'm very honored and humbled to be here. First of all, I took over a sauce business from my parents who had started the sauces business about 6 decades ago. It's a
Ah,
family heritage business. So when I first took over 32 years ago, actually, the sauce business was more of a B2B business. That means we sell directly to the businesses, and then we don't have a brand. We are actually selling wholesale and all that. So it was quite challenging when I took over the business because we know that Singapore being a very small market, we have to look beyond with the shore. We have to export our sources out of Singapore because Singapore is too small, it's too saturated, it's very competitive. So that was when we started to look into research and development. We look at technology that we can embark on. We look at branding. We look at the whole package of the sources. So that are all history because this was done like 32 years ago. So along the way, we built the Keys brand. We export to 40 overseas cities now, and it's still growing because in some countries like China, we actually have our own sales office and all. So about 20 years ago, actually, we also saw that, the manpower cost is going up and
that's
keep
right.
increasing. And people in the F&B industry or food services industry, like the airlines, like the hotels, they are facing manpower issue because first, they cannot get the manpower to work. Secondly, the cost is just too high. And there's about consistency and also about, like the standardization of their food quality. So therefore, we started what you call central kitchen, where we put food together. We pack them into like a bulk pack where we sell to hotel, to caterers, to all the people who need like a nice wholesome meals, but then they don't have enough manpower to prep. So for instance, doing things like we are still doing things like like herbal chicken where you take 3 hours to prepare them, or you rendang, where you take 2 days to cook because you need to fry the coconut first, and then you need to prepare the mutton and things like that. So we are here to cater to B2B customers where there is a need to really automate and standardize their recipe.
That's right.
And over and above that, we also realize that, hey, like especially people like myself, I'm a working mother and I'm a mother of three. So every time it's like, oh, like my son, one of them, when he was young, he just don't like to eat because he like to play.
Oh
So,
no.
it's always difficult to say, okay, you have to eat something nutritious and all that. But the problem lies in sometimes he don't like the food. So that's why Chef in Box come about to feed the next generation well. We want to put the nutrients, the goodness, so that, in a family where the parents are very busy working, or if they got no time, or the helper cannot whip up a nice meals, they can always go to Chef in Box. So for Chef in Box, actually, is all created by chef. And we know that besides getting the chef to develop the recipe, the most important is to look at the nutrients of the meal itself. Whether is it a balanced meal, what is the calories, the protein level. So these are things that over the years we keep changing and improving in the business so that we stay very relevant. Why we move so downstream to the end consumer is because when we were exporting the sauces and all that under the Keys brand, a lot of them say, oh, how to prepare chicken rice, how to prepare like rendang, then we decided to say we want a ready to eat meal. So once they just open up, microwave it, heat it up, or put into a combi oven, they can eat it on the spot, and it's really no hassle. So we are actually changing in accordance to time and the need of the consumers. Because in today's context, if you look at it, when in the internet of things, right, everything are just so fast. Like sometimes when I was going through like my computer, my son say, "Oh, you're too slow, mom. It's digital age and things like that." So they are always at the speed, of things, and so I see that they are even busier than those days when I was in school. Frankly, they have to cope with their social life through the social media, and they have to also cope with online learning now. So in the busyness of things, actually we have to give healthy food to them. So that was how the whole transformation comes about. Of course, just now as what you have introduced me as Chef in Box, Chef in Box also went into vending machine, because that is another step of transformation where we put the boxes into vending machine so that the food can be dispensed out hot or cold and at the convenience of the customer. Like recently, we put them into one of the dormitory example. Some of the foreign workers, when they work late and, they come back late, sometimes the food may get cold or, it's not edible anymore. So the easiest and the most convenient is to go to vending machine. Likewise, in the hospital, in the healthcare, in schools like university, polytechnics and all that, where students study late at night, if they feel like having a mee siam, for example, or having a hor fun. I remember a surgeon friend once told me, he said, hey, thank you very much. It's because of your hor fun, that's why I can perform my surgery at night. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, oh, before every operation, I will go for your either hor fun or tabi hun. So this is something that as we innovate and as we transform, we also understand the needs, the needs and the requirements of today's market, and how are we going to really change as according to the consumer's behavior and the consumer's pattern. I think change is the only constant. So your topic about pivoting, about transformation, I think that is something that is very close to every enterprises, especially the SMEs, because if we don't change, then we will stay put, and the next thing you realize is that we are out of the competition.
I know, right? I mean, sister, thank you so much for telling us this, because it's actually precisely because you dare to transform and you dare to change. You are where you are today. Because I've been watching your business transform, and recently in the circuit breaker, when we all went into lockdown, thank goodness for your frozen meals that is so accessible. Because Justin, a lot of people were raising money to get the meals down to the people who are vulnerable, who needs help. And we saw a lot of meals wasted, being thrown away because they are fresh, and they are freshly given to these people. Sometimes they cannot finish, and it's through no fault of theirs. And when I saw how you send out your frozen meals, right, it is at people's convenience. When they need to eat it, they deploy it. So there is no food wastages. What a genius. So can I ask you, I bring it back to the circuit breaker. I know recently a lot of food industry has been impacted, but you are doing very, very well, even during the circuit breaker. Do you think that your transformation throughout the year has brought you to this stage where you can actually handle a pandemic like this and still thrive?
I think it's all about believing in what you can do,
Yeah,
because it all started with a vision where the vision is about feeding the people well. So
yeah,
at that time, we were not even thinking of whether, is it SARS or is it a coronavirus that will hit, and then the business will just, be better or be good. We are just looking at how do we feed the people well. And so, when we first started, a lot of industry player was laughing at us and say, "Oh, if I can go to the hawker center, I pay $2 for a chicken rice. Why should I go to supermarket or even go to a convenience stores to buy your ready meals that I got to heat up again? I got to go through the hassle of storing it at home and things like that." So frankly, it was really a vision and a dream that we all started with. And we never expect that this will actually help us in return, because it all started with a passion. It all started with an intent to help others, to say, I want to bring about good food to others. And with that passion and with that purpose, actually, it has come back to help us very much, because during this period, especially during the circuit breaker, we have seen many F&B business affected. I
yes,
mean, ours are affected badly as well. Some of our outlets is zero revenue, and then
yes.
we don't get sales at all, even though we were trying to sell them online, take away and all that, but we just don't get the sales coming in. But we have a few hundred workers with us. So the next thing is, we also ask ourselves, we want to keep the people. We want to continue to employ the staff. But where do we get the revenue? Where do we get the profit? So we decided to, of course, work with LPs and also some of the good donors, where come together and say, let's do something. You know what? I mean, all these donors, actually, you help our industry also, because you help our people get employed, and some of them are so thankful. I mean, they still stay with us now that the restaurant is open. They have become a changed person. They become
Nice.
so enthusiastic, and they become like, oh, I want to do more. I want to actually do more for the people, and I want to cook a better meals. I want to serve better. So we are jokingly saying that, oh, they have gone to a boot camp, because when they come back, it's like really handing like 10,000s of meals every day.
Yeah,
So I think through that, everybody see the team effort. When they were running the outlets, they don't see the bosses going down to work with them.
correct.
But actually, during this period, all the senior management, including myself, we were down there packing. I think, Jermaine, you were down here volunteering, taking the goods and then sending it with
Yeah,
your own vehicle, your own car to the beneficiaries. All these are touching to the staff heart, and they know that they are not the one that is doing all this for the beneficiary, but everybody in the company is doing a part of it. And so they are so willingly that, it's not just about keeping jobs anymore. It's about the purpose of doing that action in the big picture. Because last time they don't see the big picture. They are just seeing themselves as, oh, I'm just the chef, I'm just the cook in the restaurant. Whether it do well, don't do well, none of my business. But now they say, hey, if I cook well and I cook nicely with a good meal, actually I'm helping another person, and maybe actually I'm giving this to foreign workers who is stuck in the dormitory and who cannot see their family and friends, who are suffering, in the imprisonment and so-called lockdown.
yeah.
At least there's something for them to look for. Even, we receive cards. I mean, Jermaine will concur with me. We receive thank you cards from
Yes, we
all
do.
the people. And this one card that touches me so much is about like, oh, you know, I'm so breadwinner. In Chinese, I remember he said, oh, I'm
Yeah.
the sole breadwinner, and then I lost my job. I don't know how to feed my family until I saw this meal chef inbox on my table. I'm very thankful to the government and to the team that is working behind Chef Inbox. And this really made me tear and make me cry. And you know, during this period of time, it's so hard for the whole company as an extended family. We
Yes.
have colleagues that, you know, burn their hands. We have
Yeah.
colleagues that broke their leg because, you know, they have not enough sleep. They were trying to
Yeah.
run 24 hours. They knocked into the forklift and things like that. So we
Yeah.
feel very sad for them. But then when they read the card, they tear. They
Yeah.
say, all that I have put in, my sweat, my pain, is all pay off. It's all pay off by the thank you card. And then we receive card to say that, you know, the chef inbox has feed us and things like that. So we are very, very moved and touched by that. Even though in the midst of like the tiredness and also, you know, like this period, although we cannot get like the revenue that we used to get from pre-COVID, but we know that we are performing something that is for the good of everyone, not just for the beneficiary. It's the people who volunteer, it's the people who cook the food and pack the food. They become very purposeful. They become like, you know, very purpose driven, very motivated. And till today, you know, after we have opened up our restaurant for like a couple of weeks, I can still see that they are so happy. They, you know, even though they work late and all that, they're still very happy because they know that there is a purpose driven behind this whole big picture.
Hey, it's so nice to know. And you know, Jocelyn, every time is such a blessing talking to you. Time passed very fast. We are actually time's up. But you know what? To all the listeners, you know, that are listening in to you, trust me, they can sense your passion. And can I give a shout out to everybody? To those of you who haven't tried the meal, honestly, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. So go and taste it. Chef Inbox is no joke. It's really very, very yummy. And this is a testament across. You remember we were doing it for all the beneficiaries, and the cards come back and say that they are super yummy. You know, they are not fast food. No, they are really food cooked with the heart. So on that note, Jocelyn, thank you very much. You have been an inspiration, you know, in this conversation. And to everyone and anyone out there who really love to connect with Jocelyn, you know, please write in to us, www.elpishideout.com, and we will make sure that we connect you to this very inspirational lady here. So on that note, Joss, thank you very, very
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you
Yes,
and have a nice day. Bye
yes,
bye.
and we
All
hope
the
that, you
best.
know, we will have you another time on our conversation.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Bye.